Right. A very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone present here today. A very warm welcome to OPassion Singapore, Malaysia Global. My name is Jeannie Tan, your host today. OPassion was formed in November 2020, run by a group of dedicated host team members. We had our first trial webinar on the 23rd of September 2021. And our first public webinar was on the 30th of September 2021. Under the mentorship of Dr. Bill Williams, we meet on every Thursday. The mission of OPassion is to ignite passion for humanity, to nurture mindset and leadership for passion and OBLES, and to form passion groups for good causes. So today we have our mentor here, Dr. Bill Williams, who will be our speaker for tonight, and he will continue with his part 2, where he left off the part 1 last Thursday. So before I call upon Dr. Bill, I would like Kumaran to take over the next segment. Brother Kumaran, over to you. You are muted, Kumaran.
This is just the beginning. I'm very happy how it came out. Nothing like we planned, but it was perfect.
We go to the top with the Philippines. We go to the top with the Netherlands.
Singapore.
We go to Singapore.
Absolutely. We are in Singapore. We'll make a show of it. Yeah.
Bangladesh.
Yeah, indeed.
See you at the top.
See you at the top. Thank you, Dr. Bill. Appreciate you.
Yeah. ready for the greatest shape of your life. Get ready for the greatest shape of your life.
Hello, OPassion, Singapore, Malaysia, Global. This is Dr. Bill Williams. I'm inviting you all to attend on August the 1st at 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time or 9 p.m. Singapore time, our next webinar together, AI Transforms Market Segmentation, Part 2 of my talk dealing with how to monetize your social media. We'll be giving you some concrete examples of what I'm doing to build my network and to plus my income through sales. We'll be talking about how ONPASSIVE fits into that. We have a complete system that we have described, and I want to invite you all to come into the webinar, view and ask questions, find out what's going on in ONPASSIVE, find out what's going on in my life and what we're doing to help people around the world create income for themselves. Look forward to seeing you on the 1st of August.
Thank you. Thank you, Brother Kumaran. That was a very nice video that you've done. Thank you so much. So before I get Dr. Bill to share, I would like to do a short intro about our mentor, and like to share, and I'm so proud to share about our mentor, Dr. Bill Williams. Was with us from day 2 of our joining ONPASSIVE. And he was with us from day 1 of our webinar when we started in year 2021. And giving credibility and substance to our webinar content, his life's work and mission give and continue to give us confidence and hope. And Dr. Bill Williams founded Solstice Dental Advisors and the 10K a Day Dentist podcast. He is a director of the 5M Mastermind, where dentists learned to be 10,000 a day producers. Over 45 years, he has over 45 years in practice, and he has been a noted international speaker, business coach, and the #1 best-selling author and clinician. So, Dr. Bill Williams, over to you. Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Appreciate that introduction, Angie. And thank you, Kumaran, for putting words in my mouth. Always do a good job with that AI buddy of yours. And he looks just like me. I'm really surprised how much that guy looks like me. And I couldn't leave out Faith for joining in and welcoming everybody, being my buddy. Mabel, sorry you're sick. I want to pray for your fast healing from the flu. And John Barilla, of course, thank you for tuning in, even though you're on your sick bed. And we pray for your rapid improvement from the COVID and your stitches. A hard time, but you'll get through it. We'll be here when you need something. Just call us and we'll send up a box of chocolates. Whatever else will make you feel better. Amen. Hot toddy. If you're from Ole Miss, you drink a hot toddy. You ever heard of a hot toddy? So what can I do now to enlighten our group? What can I tell you? We had a very substantial ONPASSIVE 360 yesterday. It opened the door to some explanations about some questions that we've had for a long time. And some of us have expected or suspected that that was the case, what was announced, that there was some things going on. So I'm glad that we got the true understanding of where we are, and the fact that Ash is on top of it, rooting out the weeds in the garden, as I was telling the group that was on here before 9 o'clock. Sometimes you got to garden, you got to weed it. Sometimes you got to take some bug spray and kill the pest. And apparently there's some pests that were infecting our products. So we're glad that Ash is on top of it, and his promises are intact. His goal is intact, and the foundership is intact. Those who are in it to win it with a heart will still win.
Hello, Dr. William, welcome to India.
Glad to hear you. Glad to hear you. Thank you.
This is a very speech is very great.
Yeah. Thank you for tuning in.
It's my child.
And-
It's my child.
Okay. ONPASSIVE forever.
ONPASSIVE is the next founder.
Next founder, yes.
Yes,
Everybody's
yes.
happy. Everybody's
Thank you so
happy
much.
right
Thank
now.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Everybody's happy. That's the thing, you know. We're over the hump. I've seen some good posts this week about how we're going to move on. We're moving forward. We're not stuck in a place now. We know where we are. And time is going to be looked at more favorably, I think, now that we know what the problems were. Hey, let's get on with our program, and I'll have some time for a Q&A afterwards, I hope. So let me get started with the sharing of the program here. And if you see what I've got, then all righty. I want to start with this right here. Sadiq, the money is in the list.
Bill, you are wrong. That's a myth. I can prove it to you. Money is not in the list.
Let's hear it.
Money is in the list segmentation, market segmentation. You have to segment people who are what are interested in it. That reminds me, in 2012, we promote a webinar to 400, maybe 450 people. I don't know the exact number now. 350 people showed up on the webinar and bought it. Each one was $1,000. That's the maximum money I made in 1 hour. $350,000 from 400, very tiny, tiny list.
What a conversion.
What a conversion. You know why? It's riches in the niches. You have to segment it to the level you know exactly what they're looking for, then offer it.
It's not how big your list is, it's how you use it.
How you use it, how you segment, how well you know them, how much you know their pain. That's it.
All right, so that's the video to introduce what we're talking about today, in that it really does pay to segment your market, your audience, your target market. Segmentation really does up your return on investment when you speak to the right people with the right message on the right modality. So $350,000 in 1 hour, pretty good record, right? Have I ever done that? Never. Sadiq's done that. And because Sadiq has had a lot of success in a lot of businesses, he sold 4 businesses for over 6 figures into 7 figures. And I've done that twice. We feel like we make a good team. And so a lot of what I'll be talking about today is some of the things Sadiq and I are doing. We've been doing it for the last 4 or 5 years. And we're working toward blending ONPASSIVE into it the best way we know how. So the title of this particular discussion on AI marketing is part 2 is AI transforms customer segmentation. And we're using artificial intelligence as a mode to revolutionize our customer segmentation to enable data-driven insights and personalized marketing at scale. And the one thing about Sadiq is he could do things at scale. And I can do things by myself, but I don't really do well because I don't know how to scale things. So he kind of knows how to scale things. As we start talking about machine learning and algorithms that you build into your AI database, then you start to learn why it's important that we go towards the AI model in our businesses. You can get the pinpoint accuracy to analyze large data sets, to uncover hidden patterns. A human could not do these things, to look through an entire data set in moments. You know, it takes humans minutes to hours to read through, but the way AI works, it can read the entire book in a few seconds. And so what we can do is we introduce data sets, books, or big lists, or things that I'll show you later on. We enter those into our database of AI, pull out things for us that we can use. We have relationship detection because the machine learning is perfect memory as opposed to defective memory like humans achieve. Then you can identify intricate connections between customer data that you never would suspect unless you had 10, 20 years of experience in an industry and you had innate knowledge from your experience. But with AI and machine learning, you get instant experience. You know what's going on in many different areas just by the power of the AI. And what we can do is use that with our knowledge to predict, predictive power, they call it, where you forecast customer behavior and preferences by what they've done in the past. People act in groups very similar. And so if you know a group's activities, then you can know what their future is when you know their history. You know, we've always said your history is not your destiny. Well, for the most part, people move as a herd, and their history is destiny. They're going to do predictably the same things. And an individual can change that, but in general, most people behave similarly. And so as we start to dig in and figure out what tools we want to use, I'm going to focus on LinkedIn right now because we're using that currently in our business on a daily basis. And we put together a hybrid model where we combine AI plus human capital. AI, of course, you understand, is pretty new. You know, it's been used for 20, 30 years in ways that we never heard of, but it's becoming heard of in the last 4 or 5 years. Before it was used in, auto manufacturing. Maybe they were doing assembly plants and robotics. Maybe they were doing things that we hadn't heard of, but now everybody's heard of it because it's becoming utilitarian in a way. Every browser's using AI. Your phones are using AI now. You're getting the large language models now, and so instant translation is available very easily now. Things are becoming more open, and so the AI plus human capital is the model that's the most prevalent to create results. AI by itself doesn't do a lot for a lot of things. You got to combine it with the human element to get the most value. Why LinkedIn? Let me ask that out there. Why do you think? Well, if you dig into the literature, you'll see that in February of this year, LinkedIn had over 1 billion customers worldwide. Approximately 134 million users were active daily on LinkedIn, and 48% of the members are active every month. So it's highly developed with business people. LinkedIn adds 2 members every second around the world. They're in 200 countries and territories globally, so they're everywhere. And the Growth Elevation Group, our group, has identified ways to monetize your LinkedIn profile. So we've created ways as we work with LinkedIn to bring other people in to share in some of the income. And that's part of why I thought it would be interesting to share all this with my friends, is because some people might want an extra income source, and we've got one that's available. And you can learn to do things based on what I'm doing, and you can implement them in your business separately from what we're doing. So this is kind of like a training class. It's kind of like a show and tell about what I'm doing. The Growth Elevation Group, or Prosperity Club, I call it, is where I'm going with this discussion about how am I using AI today? How am I putting it to work for me today? So let's make 3 points. Each member of ONPASSIVE will have a separate and individual business. We're not employed by ONPASSIVE. We don't work for ONPASSIVE. We are members of ONPASSIVE who use their tools. And we have separate businesses. Each account is a separate business. So that's kind of a given. Everybody understands that. We want to grow our ONPASSIVE business. That's a given. Everybody wants their business to succeed and become a large income center, so that as it throws off income, we can do the things that we want for supporting our families, supporting our community, doing our passion work, things that really drive us and give us purpose in life. The third thing is we want to grow our other business using ONPASSIVE platforms. So this is a point I want to focus on a little bit here today, is how can you grow your other businesses using ONPASSIVE platforms? Now, what if we don't know what our ONPASSIVE platforms are yet? Well, as we go through the presentation, you may see things that ONPASSIVE is developing, but they haven't released them yet. And so you can think about, when ONPASSIVE releases that product, I can substitute that product for the one ONPASSIVE has in a system, if you have a system. So think about it that way, not that you have to use all the systems I'm showing you. Hopefully ONPASSIVE will have an answer for every other platform out there as far as our long-term goal. In our business, and I mentioned I work with Mohammed Sadiq. He's from Pakistan. He lived in Canada as a citizen, immigrated to the US and is a citizen here. So he's dual citizenship. And he works in the IT industry, worked for Oracle. And what we've done is I formed a strategic partnership with him, and he's got strategic partnerships and alliances with people all over the world. Some of the top name people around the world are his clients. Alex Mendoza, for one. Different people in different walks of life. He's very well connected. So we want to incorporate the best of what's available today. And right now he's using Go High Level, which is a CRM, customer relationship manager. And that is his central hub. And what I've seen him do is adapt and change as the market dictates. And so we've been working together for 5 years. And not only do we work together, but we walk in the park together every day for exercise, to get away from the desk, to get away from the couch potato syndrome that you get. When you retire, you turn into a couch potato. And you have to do something to combat that urge to sit on the couch and watch Netflix. The Summer Olympics might be a good example. You know, you could watch that all day long. So you have to get up and go. And he's responsible for me getting up at 5 o'clock every morning now. I used to sleep in till 7 and go to work at 8. Now I get up at 5 and go walking at 6. It's like, when you retire, you're supposed to do just the opposite, sleep till 9. It's not possible. I'm not doing it. I've got to get up and go out and walk. So it keeps me going, and I can have a full day knowing that I've already gotten my exercise in. So with the Prosperity Club, you can see that we take the LinkedIn profile and we have a verification process. So a lot of people who get involved with us in the Prosperity Club, they will turn their LinkedIn profile over to us, for instance, and we'll work in it and we'll get it verified that it's real LinkedIn, and we have an onboarding call with people to kind of walk through how to set that up. So the thing is, in his 25 years of doing this kind of business, of creating leads for people, lead generation, he's found that LinkedIn is the very best place to go. And so that's why we use that particular platform. And to show some of the value you get with all this, this is one of our growth elevation group business areas. So we will take the people that belong to somebody's LinkedIn platform, like all the followers and friends and connections in a LinkedIn platform, we'll take them and call that the value of the business, a business entity. You know, your LinkedIn platform is a piece of property that you own, and it has value. And so if you're not doing anything with it, if you just have a LinkedIn profile and you're not working it, then it's static, it's not valuable. It's got potential value, but it's not valuable. It's just a static thing you own. Kind of like gold sitting in a vault. It's valuable, but it's not earning any money. But if you put the CRM to work on this LinkedIn profile, and you have a CRM like Go High Level as the nerve center for the business, then you tie your LinkedIn platform to something that's active, that can do things, and we make connections between different groups. And then we can call that a dynamic type of situation. It becomes 10 times more valuable when you tie your database of connections to something that can earn money. So if you can understand that each of these people here have turned their LinkedIn over to us so that we can actually offer people in that friend group, that follower group, we can offer them a product. And when we sell that product, then there's commissions paid. So that's kind of like the business angle of what we're talking about. So we might look for segmentation of that market. Once we start to look at somebody's friend group, we'll say, how many are entrepreneurs? How many are retirees? How many are young people who are just getting started? And so we'll tailor messages to those people. And so we're discussing now how market segmentation starts to take effect. And so we'll go in and we will have training sessions and set it up so that everything is understood by the people who are letting us use their LinkedIn profile. And then we'll go in and take over and start sending messages to people in your name. So they think it's you talking, not us. So we basically can use AI throughout this whole process, and there's no need for a human to do anything in the early part of this situation. So I want to kind of show you what AI is capable of doing to improve the communication process and save you time. This is the way we do it, but think about it in the future is how you could do it. You could capture a document, a conversation, or a letter like this one over here. This is a letter that was sent out. And this is a conversation that Sadiq and I had. So you can add this letter to ChatGPT. You can submit it. How do you do that? Well, you turn it into a PDF. Any conversation you have can be recorded and turned into a PDF or a Word doc. It can work just the same as a text document. And once you do that, then you can put it into the ChatGPT. So one of the things about ChatGPT 4.0, it's a lot more advanced than just ChatGPT 3.5. And it's a subscription, but it's entirely cheap. And sometimes I think there's places you can get it for free. So right down here at the bottom, you see that little paperclip looking thing. That's the link place where you can add in your PDF. And so you can see that I've added Prosperity Club welcome letter. And with that, I can put it into ChatGPT. When I put it in there, I can ask ChatGPT, what is your opinion of this letter? How can I make it better, you might ask? What's your opinion of it? Once you input the info, the letter, the post, the article, even a whole book, I put my whole book in there. The $10,000 a Day Dentist is in ChatGPT now, and I can ask it questions about my book. Any question I ask, it will instantly know the answer because the text is in there. So if I said, pull out everything I want to know in my book about radiographs and x-rays, it would instantly give me every reference to that that's in the book. Or as far as email strategies, it'd pull it out. Or how to get more patients to be on time. Anything that related to appointment reservations, reminders, it would pull it out. So any question you ask, it's going to know. Instead of you having to read a book totally, you could take a book and you could ask a pertinent question and it would give you the answer as long as you had input the book into the ChatGPT database. That's a way that we are improving our questions. And so here's a summary that came out. And it says, great intro to the Prosperity Club. Here's my take. Clarity, support, and success stories are kind of what that letter was about. And it gets in more detail as you go through it. So we're talking about LinkedIn for customer segmentation. And you can already see that we're taking information out of LinkedIn and doing things with it. But let's identify again what it is about LinkedIn that's significant. We can identify connections between people because LinkedIn has a social graph to uncover hidden connections and relationships between customers, informing targeted marketing efforts. So there are first connections, second connections, third connections in LinkedIn. So we know who's connected to who. We know who's in the conversations with an individual. We know what their history is because you fill out a profile on LinkedIn and you've got your employment history, you've got your social history, you've got your location, you've got the companies you're connected to. You've got so much information in a profile that LinkedIn has. We can segment the industry and have groups of customers by their industry. We can target people in their professional careers based on tailored content and the offerings by industry segmentation. And that'll come in handy when you're trying to sell a specific thing to a specific industry. Like we'll show you one later about franchises, one about building construction, and one about sales. Thirdly, the ability to analyze content engagement is present in LinkedIn. You can monitor how your customers engage with your company's LinkedIn presence. You'll actually be able to have their post understood and read and know what they're talking about in a conversation in LinkedIn with AI connections. You'll be able to follow things through a thread of communications. So we're able to enhance our sales outreach. We can use LinkedIn data to personalize sales pitches and identify the right decision makers because everybody's job title is listed in LinkedIn. You only want to speak to CEOs, you can do that. You only want to speak to CFOs, you can do that. I did the influencer podcast for 1.5 years, speaking mostly to CMOs, chief marketing officers. And so we were able to target those specific people. And so, 50% of the people I interviewed were all in the marketing industry. We can measure brand influence and track LinkedIn mentions and shares and thought leadership to gauge our brand's reputation. So this is very useful information in how you can segment and get your message to the right person. So here's an example how I do that. I can copy a potential customer's profile info, just copy paste right off the LinkedIn. Then I can paste that into our AI bot, make a PDF out of it, and that goes right into ChatGPT-4. And then I can add a prompt and modify that prompt for specific things I want to bring out. So instantly into my database goes everything about prospect. I know all their connections. I know everything about them. And it only takes me a few moments to copy paste. I didn't have to read it. I just have to understand that it's done. And then I can have my AI bot send out information based on what they learned. Like it can start talking to people in the text messaging area of LinkedIn, and it could talk about their business as if I was very knowledgeable about their entire profile. AI does all this. It's not a human doing this. So that's an AI agent that I'm describing right now, using hyper-personalized emails and text messages within LinkedIn to do outbound marketing. Can you imagine having entire conversations for days and never having any effort on your own? How much value would that be to send out messages specifically connecting people? So one of the things I use to gather information and put it into ChatGPT or into my database would be AI tools like MeetGeek. And MeetGeek is a recording for any voice or video where you want to turn audio into text. Not only will it turn it into text, it'll analyze it, summarize it, give you Cliff Notes versions, etc. So one of the things that I used to walk around the park and not do much of anything that was business related. We were just kind of walking and talking, but every now and then we would start talking business. And I said, you know, if you could record this, it would be useful. You know, somebody would be interested in what we're talking about. And so Sadiq came up with something he uses in his meetings all the time. He said, I can do MeetGeek on an iPhone or a Google phone. And he said, we talk and we can record and it will transcribe and also analyze what we're talking about. And so we started doing that. And we realized pretty soon that we could come up with some good ideas that people might want to actually buy this conversation. And so we created our upcoming New York Times bestseller idea, 52 business hacks, just from the discussions we were having walking around the park. So we also did the same thing with influencer podcasts. You know, we record the conversations and then we can turn those into something useful. Things that you might miss if you just listen to it once. You can read about it. You can share the text with the author or with the podcast interviewee, and they can use that on their own. So we were doing these things going, okay, what can we do now? Well, we can go beyond just doing it on something that we've already recorded. We could do it live. And so we started using it on, you know, the podcast model that we were using. And as we did that, StreamYard, we were able to then send it live stream to Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and Twitter all at one time. So we had live feeds, and we did that for 1.5 years with the Influencer podcast. And every one of our podcasts could have a transcript with summaries automatically generated right there. And it would come right to your email. You didn't have to go search for it. It would be sent to your email after every one of the shows was over. So those are some of the useful things that we found. Now, sentiment analysis with natural learning processing using emotional intelligence. Those are things that come out of using the AI, as we talked about. The emotional intelligence factor is where the software understands customer emotions and products and services. We talked a lot about emotional intelligence over the years, something that you develop and you have to gain experience in it. But now software can do that automatically by just listening to a conversation. And we've heard Ash talk about emotional intelligence being built, the sentiment analysis being built into our product with ONPASSIVE. So that's something that we're looking forward to, is having an advanced ability with OConnect to have that emotional intelligence understanding. The language analysis, of course, we're talking about getting insights from the customer conversations. It's not just about foreign language translation. It's insights into what conversations mean, where their emphasis is, whether they're in a sales mode or whether they're in different modes. So we have intelligent automation to streamline customer support with chatbots. And here's how it looks over here. You can see that there's KPIs that are built into the software. So you can get the sentiment of the call, you can have timeliness, and you can have silence rate, you can have customer talk rate, and it just dissects the entire conversation into multiple KPIs, which are useful and valuable for people. We can get personalized summaries, topics and highlights, and so you can see which speaker is speaking. It'll identify the name of the speaker, or it'll identify, it change from one voice to another voice. You can get your information about the topic that's being discussed. It'll do it with a timeline. You can pull out things. MeetGeek, you can get with any webinar you do, any video you're on, you can submit it into something that somebody else did. So you can take somebody else's video and submit the video into the system, and it'll break it all down for you. So you don't have to even listen to it. You can get a transcription with instant analysis just from using MeetGeek. So that's just one product that I'm talking about. There's another product called Good Meetings that does something similar. It's an AI integration. And the thing about that one is that if you have Good Meetings as the centerpiece, then you can hook up schedulers to it and CRMs to it. You can hook up video conferencing to it and other networking types of things like Slack. I'm hoping that there's going to be a way for ONPASSIVE to provide all these pieces that people are hooking things up together. I'm hoping we'll be able to have all that within our own business, so we don't need to tack together all these different parts. So you can see the value of what people are doing right now, because they got to cobble together HubSpot with Outlook, with Zoom, with Slack, with an intermiddle piece to kind of connect them. If ONPASSIVE comes up with an ecosystem connection that joins all this together, you see how much further ahead we are. Instead of having to buy 18 things and hook them together, then we're going to already be put together nicely. So that's our hope. But looking at what Good Meetings does, you can see how it breaks down things by time element, what was talked about during that time element. So if you're trying to save time and you want to just find out about your book expansion and tour, you can go right to that spot and you can click on the button and it'll go right to the discussion point, and you don't have to wander around looking for the particular thing in the conversation. So that kind of is very useful for saving time. It'll also give you customer profiles, including their name, destination, and previous interactions in your business. So it goes back in time and looks at all the communications you've had with that customer, so you can get a summary of where you are in business with that customer. You can get questionnaires built that are automatically created. about the customer, and you can generate scores and qualify leads based on their responses. So there's a lot of customization with these products where you can dig out information. Some of the things that they do that are useful are capture meeting intelligence. And you got libraries of videos you can go through and do analytics on them. You can get high quality transcriptions. You can record the calls. You can get human level summaries. One of the favorite things is take a legal document and say, give me an overview of what this really says. It takes the legalese and turns it into human talk. Things like that. So you see all the different things, a lot of integration, a lot of things happen when you have the automated processes. And the bottom line is it helps you close the deal. If you're a coach, if you're wanting to get a screen share analysis of things you've been looking at, you can find things out and you apply the AI to it, and you're going to be far, far ahead with good meetings. So just another tool. OConnect, this is ours. We are hoping that everything that's built into OConnect will be equal or better than any of these other products. And so far, we see a lot of things about OConnect that are better. And so the next level of OConnect is that it includes all the things that we're discussing in AI now, not just the things about presentation, not just things about, connection, but also the analysis part. When AI gets built into the OConnect with analysis, then we're really cooking with gas, as they say. Predictive analysis is the game. We want to data mine the hidden patterns in the customer data. We want behavior forecasting, predicting customer interest and actions. If we know where they're going before they know they're going there, we can be sitting there with a lemonade stand when they're thirsty. That's the idea. You want to be in front of somebody and have something for them to buy before they know they want to buy it. And you can do that with predictive analysis. We want to refine our targeting with personalized marketing campaigns. Talking about AI-powered recommendations and the predictive modeling, AI-driven recommendations have engines that analyze the data sets, and we identify the patterns and we predict the way the products and services are going to be consumed by the customers. And if we can predict what they want, then we can really be ready when they're ready. We'll be there before they're ready, actually. We do hyper-personalization. We leverage our customer data and machine learning, and we tailor our offerings to each person's unique preferences and habits with our personalized experiences. The experience of buying is something that we've been studying quite a bit. And we've learned that the improved engagement makes sales go up. And so we want to be highly relevant. We want to be timely with our recommendations. We want them to be looking at the menu of items that we have and to already be wanting what we have because we already knew what they were going to want. And then they see what we got, and then we can move forward with our selection process to give them exactly what they want. Our future is secure as AI takes the lead. Now think about ONPASSIVE and our targeted traffic. What we want to do with targeted traffic and AI and Ash's plan is we want to be right there before they need it. We want to send them traffic to our websites, selling them something that they've already thought they want. And we just happen to show up. That's the goal, and that's where we're headed. So the improved engagement due to AI-enhanced customer segmentation will lead to personalized experiences, as we talked about, something that means something to that particular person, tailored to something that resonates so powerfully with each individual that they go deeper. They go into the website. They go into talking with us through the AI our AI is doing a lot of talking before they reach the person. Once we have insights that we can share with the patient or with a client or with a customer, then they start to trust us. So if you think about the sales process, it's always what's in it for me. The client wants to know what's in it for me. And so anytime there's a consultant, a doctor, a salesman talking to a potential customer, they're not going to get very excited about anything until you offer them the actionable insights. It's when you do that, when you offer the solution to their problem, the actionable insight, that's when they start to look at you like, oh, I might want to do business with this person. And so you're taking an advanced analytic approach, and you got your AI undercover granular customer insights that you have, that you knew about them before they knew about themselves. And you can empower the brand to make a better informed decision. It's data driven, and it's working behind the scenes without the client really knowing that you know all this about them. When you give an actionable insight to somebody, it means that they can save money in their business. It means they can make more money on the bottom line. And that's what drives sales. It's when you can show somebody that your product or your service saves them or makes them money. And finally, you reach a point where there's elevated interactions. With our AI-enhanced segmentation, we can ensure that each customer interaction is highly relevant and valuable and strengthens our relationship and drives continued business growth to their business. I might need to show you some examples of how we do that, and I'll do that. But think about this. We always want autonomous data collection, multiple sources of databases coming together for use, with AI and ChatGPT-4 and other databases like that. We've got multiple sources of information being compiled. We want it to be continuously refined. That means it wants to adapt to the profiles as the customer data evolves. A person is not static. I've been in 5 different businesses since I started thinking about retirement. From dentistry, I've added wellness products. I've added ONPASSIVE. I've added Growth Elevation Group. So my data profile has changed tremendously in 5 years. And so you need to be able to keep up with it in your sales process. And so that's one of the things that AI does. It adapts as profiles change. It learns. You have comprehensive profiles. You analyze the traits, behaviors, and preferences of the people through their profile. And at some point in time, you're going to give them a recommendation. You're going to give them something that they can use. If you see things from a 360 holistic viewpoint, and you understand each customer of where they want to go and how they operate, then you're going to sell them more products, right? Hyper-personalization with AI means that they have targeted content delivered to them. I think this is exactly what Ash is going to do with the targeted traffic. The big part of CatMo is targeted traffic with products that people want, right? We're delivering tailored messages to each segment. So, for example, we're targeting right now franchise consultants, franchise owners, government construction engineers, salespersons of all types, HR and hiring professionals, and real estate agents. So those are our target market currently this month. And so what we'll do is we'll take and we'll do refined campaigns based on the data for each of those groups, like a separate group. We got franchises that have an interest in certain things. We got construction people that work with the government and they're interested in certain things. Book publishing is something that we're doing a lot of. And there's a whole industry related to publishing books, and you can make a lot of money being in the book publishing business. There's the real estate people who have certain interests. They certainly, all these people want leads. They want leads to increase the number of franchises. They want leads to build more construction projects, leads to have people buy their homes, sell their homes. So all this is very hyper-personalized capability with AI. We're discussing cross-channel consistency in that all these different things coming out of AI need to look seamless to the customer. Their experience and touch points need to be identical or compatible, whether we're talking to them out of text or email or video or social media, even voice. We need to come across as we are that person. We're the same, no matter what way you reach us. And if we could do all that based on AI without human involvement, so much the better. Sometimes you got to use a combination, a hybrid approach. So ChatGPT-4 personalizes customer segmentation, and we leverage the power of these different databases of AI. And I just use ChatGPT 4.0 because it's the one that I've locked into for right now. We want to generate that personalized prompt that captures the unique needs and preferences of each customer segment. So it's important that we discuss prompts, because that's the language of talking, you know. We tailor the language, the tone, and the content to resonate with specific audience profiles. So we would continuously monitor using ChatGPT 4.0 our customer data and behavior, and then we enable your business to dynamically adjust segmentation models, staying agile and responsive to the evolving market trends. Follow-up is really key. If you can follow up and never let a person drop off the radar, and I'm talking about here, everything's done by robots, by what we call sales agents, then you're way ahead of the game. So a lot of the things I've been talking about, there's no human interaction. It's all done by AI. Now, let's drop into something that's more relatable, publishing a book. So we came up with the idea of a book called 52 Business Hacks. And this is a general book on business from my experience and Sadiq's experience. And what we decided to do was be seen as an expert. So we're publishing this book, calling it the upcoming New York Times bestseller. And why do we say upcoming? Because it will be promoted to become a New York Times bestseller. It's not whether it will, it's when it will. So there's a way to guarantee your book will be a New York Times bestseller. There's a technique to become a bestseller. And so once we go through the technique, it's like, you know, you're going to have it. You don't guess, you don't get lucky to be a New York Times bestseller. Everybody who becomes a New York Times bestseller does it because they intend for it to become that. We activate our networks using the book, and the book will be given to people in its electronic form, like a Kindle book. It'll be a call to action, a CTA we call it. A call to action will give them the book. So what are we asking for to give them a book? Once we write the book, we're going to give people the book just so we can collect their name and their cell number. And so it's a lead magnet, the book is, to get a name and a cell number. Why is that valuable? Because with a name and a cell number, then you can start selling products into the networks. You can start offering people things through text, through email. These are the things, the things that make commerce work is when you know a name and a cell number and an email. And that's the language of business, is to have these call to actions that lead to sales. There's another type of book called the anthology, where you have groups of authors coming together with their unique perspective, and you create a book subject for the multiple authors to give input on. And we're doing a number of these books, 52 franchise business hacks. And so we're going from a general business hack, Sadiq and I, we're going to niches, because we know that there are riches in the niches. And if you can promote a book to become an international bestseller, which we can, guaranteed again, then we will have these 50 authors in the book able to say they've got an international bestseller that they published. Each author would have a chapter, and then we'll take the network that they have, and we will give them the access to give this book out to their entire network. And so instead of a business card, we're going to leverage their network with a book. And there's more power to a book than there is a business card. And they can use the ebook method, or they can use the physical book method if they wish. What happens with the network and the sharing of this book, though, it elevates them as an expert, but it also leverages the power of the collaborative publishing for lead generation to attract other people. And so each of these people who's an author here in a book is going to actually be able to sell their product into their networks and other networks to monetize networks within LinkedIn. What we've got going on this kind of an idea is you have access to people when you give them a book, and then you'll be able to sell them things that they want, because you know from their profile on LinkedIn exactly what they want. Let's look at an example of how you would use a prompt and how you can start learning a little bit about how ChatGPT works. So I'm writing a prompt. Number one, you are now writing as an author of a new proposed book, 52 Business Hacks. And for the following list of 10 best hacks, identify who is the number one target for that hack. This is the way you start figuring out what audience you want to send a piece of information to, right? And so here's the answer. Here's how each of the top 3 hacks can be targeted towards a specific audience. This is the answer that ChatGPT gave me, in other words. It talks about 10 things, and the top 3 were time management, cash flow management, and customer retention. And so each one has a description, what it means, what's your target, what do they want, why is it important that they understand this? Well, for time management, these individuals are small business owners and entrepreneurs who wear multiple hats and struggle with prioritization. So if you can help them prioritize time and save time, then you have a reason that they'll listen to you. So this is how useful the AI is. So then you go with prompt number 2. As a time management expert, give me the best title for a post to attract small business owners and entrepreneurs who want better time management due to having to wear multiple hats and because prioritization is important. So you see, you took one piece of information and now you're looking for the best title. And that title that they give you would be, certainly, this is the answer that ChatGPT gave me. A compelling title to attract small business owners and entrepreneurs seeking better time management could be Mastering Time, Essential Strategies for Small Business Owners and Entrepreneurs Juggling Multiple Roles. And then it gives you some reasons why this would work. So that's what ChatGPT will give you. You can develop your titles for your post, for your prompts. Then I gave it a third prompt. Define 3 essential strategies in bulletproof form for time management that create the greatest time savings. and it told me these things. Now, I like that. I like the prioritization of the Eisenhower matrix. I like time blocking. I like automatic routine tasks, automate routine tasks. I like all that, but if I'm going to put that on a slide and I'm doing some teaching, it's like, nah, that's just too much. So there's an easy solution to that. And I was working inside Gamma, which is a thing like PowerPoint. It's another program to make slides. It's what I actually made this presentation in, Gamma. It's an AI generated type of thing. So I said to Gamma, I said, prompt 4 was make shorter. I just used that simple prompt, and it gave me, from that other detailed, long, ugly looking thing, it gave me this. Streamline time management. It gave me Eisenhower matrix, time blocking, and automation, all with the push of a button. I didn't have to shorten the sentences by hand. It took care of the fonts. It took care of the bullet points. So that's the power of AI if you just give a prompt in the right place. The future of AI customer segmentation is really unlimited. You've got autonomous profiling, real-time adaptation, predictive recommendations, continuous data aggregation, instant campaign adjustments. You can anticipate customers' needs. And the bottom line is you get increased sales and conversions. All this can be done by one person. All this can be done by a small group instead of a massive team. And that's the beauty of using AI in your business. Now, as far as ONPASSIVE goes, our OES, ONPASSIVE ecosystem, is a cross-functional collaboration envisioned by Ash and his folks in Hyderabad and other centers that create these products. So we have the data integration. They're all unified together. Customer data from all sources is integrated together. So we anticipate that to be excellent. And I'm hoping as we get into looking at ODS, that it'll be similar to Go High Level, multifunctional. I'm hoping that all the different products have a replacement for the things I use currently so that we can keep them in ONPASSIVE. The inter-platform alignment for sales and marketing and service, Ash has already thought this through and has come up with the ideal game plan for us. And so he's going to take, for the small entrepreneur, he's going to have it all in one place for sure. And I think that's encouraging for us to be able to take O-Market, O-Commerce, O-Shop, take O-Staff, O-Hiring, all these different products and integrate them together as one database. And then we'll have continuous optimization, of course. They're going to keep making it better and better. And he's going to lead us to the place where we don't need anything else, I'm hoping. If you're in it with heart, you win it. That's Sasha's statement. And that's kind of the game changer for us, is that we can employ our CATMO system, which we all know what CATMO is. We can use it all together and we can integrate all the parts, and we'll have our ONPASSIVE business growing strong. We'll have our other businesses that we utilize going strong, and we'll be able to have a lot of it running on automatic in the background where we don't have to do all the work. AI assist at every turn, every point. And I'm hoping that the future with ONPASSIVE is as good as it's been promised. And I feel like it is as good as it's promised. I feel like we're ready to rock and roll with some really good news here pretty soon. I wanted to share with you today all the things that I've been doing. And now that I've shared the current state of where I am, I'm ready to take any questions you've got for a while. I got 20 minutes. I could do that at the most.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. Thank you so much for your presentation. Wow. We will have to watch your replay because I don't think I can grasp everything. It's too much for me.
Now, it's a game plan, you know, it's like, what are we doing and why are we doing it? It's just, you got to stay busy waiting for the other things to develop. And that's kind of why I'm sharing what I've been doing, because there's got to be something that you learn watching other people do stuff, you know, like we know that AI is everywhere. We just don't know how to use it. And so hopefully I gave a few tidbits of how you can pick up a chat GPT and just put it to use in your business.
Yes, do we have any taker? Anybody would like to ask question? This is your chance. Anybody?
I don't know at the moment.
Brother Alan? Brother Alan?
I'm trying to mute.
Hey, Alan.
Hi, Dr. Bull. I joined your program quite a while back, about 2 months ago, but I haven't seen any results as yet. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know. I've done your onboarding a couple of times. I followed up with it, so I don't know if there's anything else I should do.
You onboarded with what?
With the Prosperity Club.
Oh yeah, we're still building the sales team. We're still building the income thing. So all we've done so far is put together a group of LinkedIn folks, but we haven't had any sales start yet. So it hasn't had any progress in terms of what you'll be able to see. We have to get somebody to buy something that's in your group before you actually see something.
Yeah.
So we're right.
Carry on.
Yeah, we're right at the point where people will just let the LinkedIn profile just kind of sit and be running offers through it. And when people buy something, then you get something put in your payment wagon.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
That's
very interesting discussion. Thank you very much.
yeah.
That platform called Perplexity, which is similar to GTB4, also very up to date. Another one similar to, it's called Perplexity. Have you ever tried that one?
I think so too. Yeah.
So Dr. Bill, when will you be starting your training for us so that we can catch up with you?
What would you like to? You can put a request out about what you'd like to be trained on, then I will consider putting that together. Yeah, you can
We want
make
to
a request.
doing what you're doing, you know, following you.
Yeah, well, anytime anybody wants to do what I'm doing, connections, you just send me a text message or a messenger message, WhatsApp, and I'll see what I know. But there's places to participate in different ways, I know. You know, being a book author, being a salesman on the GEG, there's all kind of participation places.
I have a.
Yes, Tanisha.
Yes, I'm an author of 4 books, so I would like to be able to use this platform.
Yeah, we'd be glad to talk with you about all the things that we're doing with publishing and monetizing books. Our main goal is helping people monetize their book.
Right, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's not so much book sales, but if you have something that leads from a book to a product, a service that you offer, that's where the money is.
Like
Like-
speaking, like
Like a coach
Coaching?
who wants to get clients, like a speaker who wants to get gigs.
Yeah,
Yeah, the book
that's
is
why
not-
I'm also a transformational speaker, as you already know. So I would like to get speaking engagements based on my books.
Yeah, something like that might be a good fit for what we do.
Okay,
And we could definitely hold conversations with anybody who wants to go that route.
okay, that'd be me. That'd be me.
You got it. Well, you're connected, you know the right people.
Okay,
Yeah, if you want to
Thank
be
you.
an author, compilation book like we're talking about, that's easy. Write a chapter. And I've written chapters in a number of compilation books that were, sold all around the world. But I never tried to monetize any of those. But if you have a product to monetize, then it's valuable. Coaches, speakers, some people like that. I've been
Okay.
trying to think of how could ONPASSIVE people benefit from something like that, but I haven't thought of the book thing being big for the ONPASSIVE business at this point. But it might show up. Somebody has an idea, they can run it by me. We're definitely big in the book publishing industry right now. I mean, that's something that we're focused on right now.
Dr. Bill,
Yeah.
Maran?
yeah, I want to say thanks to Dr. Bill for sharing this wonderful presentation. Too many things to, like what our sister Jenny said, too many things. But then I am really jealous on you because in the age of 74, like what you mentioned earlier, some people will be sitting with their grandchildren and playing with their grandchildren. But Dr. Bill, you start using ChatGPT, and you are doing something, different level. Busy with marketing, and for your age, 74, this is something totally not everyone is doing, right? And the best part that you're using the slides. It's the new. I just want to know what slides you are using. I'm sure this is not PowerPoint.
It's called Gamma.
Gamma. Wow, it's really 3D. The way from one page to another page, very beautiful. That's why
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Is
you're
Gamma
welcome.
free? Is Gamma free, Dr. Bill?
No, it's a small cost.
Oh.
It's a monthly small cost. Most of the things you buy have a small cost. The subscription model is ubiquitous now. Everybody's gone subscription model.
Mm.
But ONPASSIVE will have, I'm hoping, Academy should have the same capability. I'm hoping. We'll see.
Yeah.
Or OJIT or OCapture. One of our products has got to do the same thing. It's got to. I don't know why we wouldn't have that at some point.
Mm. Yes, we're all looking forward to it.
I can't wait. I'm like, I hate using all these other products. I don't want to, but they're not available through ONPASSIVE yet. So I'm going to use them until I can replace them.
Yep.
And I think everybody understands that. We're using Zoom today because our flagship is not available. So we make do as we can. And when it comes back, we'll go back to what we like.
Mm. Yes, so anybody else would like to ask Dr. Bill any questions?
Brother John
Okay.
Barilla, he can backdate it, his sharing. We can wait for next week.
Okay, it's 10:35, and Dr. Bill did share with us that he has another meeting to catch, and he has to say goodbye to us at 11. But now it's at least still before 11, so hurry if you have any questions. Let's catch him before he runs.
Yeah, I got to
If
drive
not-
across town to a meeting, so I'm glad to stay as long as I can, but I do need to leave pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Dr. Bill, one more question. The whole all these things happen because you go jogging with walking with your friend, Mr.
Sidik.
the Fidik, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, all
what
these
happens
things just happen.
if you never meet your friend Fidik? What will happen?
If I hadn't met Sadiq, I'd probably be doing something on my own, which would be probably still working, trying to help dentists be better in their dental practices, which was what I did for, the last 10, 20 years. In addition to practicing dentistry, I was a dental consultant. And so meeting a friend outside of dentistry, I was able to start focusing on a bigger audience. Dentistry is a small group, and now I can focus on many other groups of business because I interact with somebody whose main business was lead generation, and he was getting leads for all kinds of other businesses. And when you have a bigger audience, you have more niches that you can attract. And so we're going after specific niches with the book idea. And lead generation is lead generation. Any time you can give people good resources to buy their products, they're going to use you as a marketing agent. So that's the whole business that he's in, is marketing to get leads for any business that you focus on. And you can focus on any business. It's just which ones are you good at? And so he's got certain businesses that he knows really well. So he targets those businesses. And we hit upon the franchise business, the real estate market, the construction market, and the book publishing market this year. It's dynamic. We work on things all the time. And, I can't sit around waiting for ONPASSIVE to hit and not have any interest in my life. It's not that I need the income, although I like it, but I like to keep busy. I like to keep developing and doing. That's what drives me.
Mhm.
I just have to create. I'm a creative person, and these things are interesting to me, to go into something and dig it deep and see what I can do with it. And I know a lot of you are like that too. You want to stay active. You want to stay busy. Retirement doesn't mean you stop. It means that you just go from your main career to your fun career.
Mhm.
We all want ONPASSIVE to be the number one. That's what our goal is.
Yes.
Never forget that. I'm not ever abandoning ONPASSIVE. If you see me doing stuff, it's only passing time till I get to the real deal.
Yep.
ONPASSIVE is the real deal.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of people give up on ONPASSIVE to go do something, but I think we can all pretty much say that we'll never leave ONPASSIVE. That's too good a deal. Too
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Well, let me thank you all for being here with me. Thank you for having me, hosting me. And number one thing about the OPassion group, Singapore, Malaysia, you guys are the top-notch people of ONPASSIVE as far as I can see. And you always do things right. So it's always good that you've taken off and done the right things for the right reasons at the right times. And you never wavered. So strong group you are. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that I was your granddad. Now, long time ago, I turned you loose to be on your own because you've done so well. And I'm proud of you guys, all of you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they're doing a fabulous job, Dr. Bill. Fabulous job. Thank you. I love OPassion. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Dr. Bill. And thank you, Dr.
All right.
Tanisha. And
All
thank
right,
you, everyone, for being here tonight.
And Dr. Bill, next week is Jeff, our brother Jeffrey is going to come and share with us. Then after that is Dr. T, and on the 22nd, I want to share. So please make an appointment with me on the 22nd. Please come and join, because I have this topic very nice. I experienced this. It's about we are living in the AI. We talk that AI is really helping us, but I noticed that people are start abusing AI in their life. So this is very interesting topic I want to share. So join me on the
All right.
22nd.
Yeah, keep me informed of your agenda, and I'll try to be there anytime I can.
Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Okay.
All righty.
So
Bye-bye, Dr. Bill. Thank you.
thank you.
Good night.
Good to see
Good
you.
night. Thank you,
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Thank you, Dr. Bill.
Thank you, Dr. Bill. Thank
We'll
you.
let you go for your next